just over a year ago in 2024, in about mid-February, Letsile Tebogo had broken the world record in the 300-meter dash, running 30.69 seconds. And that took down the record that Wade van Niekerk had set all the way back in 2017, a mark that many had deemed as very, very challenging. We had seen Usain Bolt try and take down Michael Johnson's record. He wasn't able to do it. Wade van Niekerk, he was able to take that down. And then Letsile Tebogo, considering how he actually broke that 300 record, where he was very, relaxed, he slowed down before the line, everyone was like, okay, this kind of proves and justifies the talent that Tebogo had displayed over the past few years leading up to 2024. Between the 2 World Junior titles that he had won in the 100-meter dash, between the 2 times that he had gone to the World Championships at the senior level, 2022 and 2023, between the 2 medals he had gotten at the World Championships in Budapest, the silver in the 100 and then the bronze in the 200, and of course, all the marks that he had put down, the 19.50 leading into 2024, the 9.88 in the 100. He had really been displaying some quality, and his 300-meter world record really, again, just justified that quality that he had put on the track. He then followed that up barely a month later, running the 400 in 44.29 seconds. Again, very, very comfortable, very relaxed. For the most part, people knew that he could very likely go much faster. Now, around that time, I'd also kind of made a video speaking about how we should set our expectations for what Tebogo might do in 2024, because as fans, right, as viewers, we want to see the best of the best. We want to kind of project these amazing performances onto an athlete and say they could break the world record, or they're going to be the next Usain Bolt in the case of Letsile Tebogo. They're going to do X, Y, Z. Even myself, I've done that many times as well. But of course, by the end of the season, he got the gold medal in the 200-meter dash, becoming the Olympic champion, the first ever for Botswana in any track event. He then also ran 19.46 seconds, moving him to number 5 all-time in the 200. He improved his 100-meter best to 9.86 seconds. And then I think the big thing outside of the 200-meter gold was that 4x4 split, where he ran the anchor leg, just finishing behind Rai Benjamin, running 43.04 seconds on that anchor leg split, making him the second fastest 4x4 runner in history, only behind Michael Johnson's 42.9 from back in 1993, which is the world record 4x4, that still stands to this day. But that performance, again, just further justified what we knew, to Letsile Tebogo was capable of, the talent that he has, and really kind of opened our eyes to the idea of him being a potential 200, 400 runner as opposed to the 100, where, again, he made the final at the Olympic Games, but he only finished 6th place, wasn't able to get on the podium. And then for him to get the gold medal in the 200, followed that up with a anchor leg final on the 4x4, that showed that, listen, he has a lot more room to improve when talking about the 400-meter dash. So at the top of this year, many were looking to see what he was going to be able to do in terms of the 400, his early season performances. Is he even going to run the 400 throughout the 2024 season? Well, he's already opened up and he's run 3 different 400-meter races. First, he opened up running 48.94, and I think he ran that in like trainers, just like, very relaxed, kind of like a training run, literally in, running shoes as opposed to spikes. Then he followed that up with 46.55, and then more recently, he just ran 45.42 seconds. And none of these races, again, were really fast. More recently, the 45.2, he actually finished in 2nd place. And I know this brings up a lot of conversation because of those expectations that we have of Letsile Tebogo, because of the talent that we know that he's displayed, because of the medals that he's been able to win at the World Championships and the Olympic Games. So coming into 2025, everyone is looking, is he able to not only win all his races, but is he able to run 44 seconds, straight off the bat? Is he able to maybe go under 44 because we know he has that talent? Well, I don't know if all that is going to happen yet. We know for a fact that he does have the talent to go under 44 seconds. We know for a fact that he does have the talent to challenge some of the guys that we saw at the Olympic Games between Quincy Hall, Matthew Hudson-Smith, Muzala Samakonga, Jermaine Richards, all those guys who ran sub 44. But we also know that these performances that we might think he's capable of, these aren't going to come overnight. Yes, he had an amazing 2024, but right now he's just ramping back up in 2025. Coming off, I've gotten a chance to speak with his coach actually last year at the end of the year at the Brussels Diamond League. His coach said, we were preparing over the past couple years specifically for the Olympic Games. Not only Tebogo as an individual, but their 4x4 team. They knew that this was going to be a good chance for them as 400-meter runners to be able to really challenge not only a fast time, to get on the podium, to potentially go for gold. So they were really prepping and ramping up for that. Now, as they look forward, yes, the World Championships this year is very important. He wants to go for another gold medal in whatever event he's actually going to choose, but they're probably, taking a step back, understanding that Tebogo, all his crew, Ndori, Kemenat Shipi, right? All those guys in Botswana, they're still extremely young, and he wants to plan them for the long term. He wants to plan them for LA 2028. He wants to prepare them for the Australia Olympics in 2032. That's where he really wants to make sure that they're ready. Yes, you can debate if the World Championships, Olympics, which is more important, etc., but when thinking about younger athletes who are still developing, who still have a lot of talent, I know their coach is going to be, working with them, giving them some steady progress moving forward. On top of that, this is a very long season where the World Championships are occurring all the way down in September, mid to late September in Tokyo, Japan. We're in March right now. So, he's prepping up just like other athletes who are going to be running, who have run 400s and 300s, whether it's indoors or outdoors early in the season. Tebogo is probably doing the same, just building up some of that base to prepare himself for the very long season going all the way down to Tokyo in September. Now, on top of that, we don't know exactly if he's going to be targeting the 400, the 200, the 100. From my understanding and from conversations with him at the end of last year, he does still want to go for a 100-meter gold medal. That's one thing that he does not have yet. Remember, prior to him, getting into the senior ranks, before he, got to the World Championships and got his medals, he actually was a 2-time World U20 champion at the 100-meter dash. But when he got to the senior level, he got a silver medal in the 100 and then a bronze medal in the 200, followed by a gold medal in the 200. So he doesn't yet have that gold medal in the 100 that he probably on a personal level still really does want. Yes, we want to see him in the 400, and I'm sure that Letsile Tebogo wants to go into the 400 and, achieve some things there as well, whether it's a time, whether it's a medal, etc. But I know he also has his personal goals, and probably he's working towards those before fully transitioning. And remember, he is extremely young. He's still only 21 years old. He'll be turning 22, I think, in June of this year. So he still has a lot more time to progress. He still has a lot more time to display his consistency and his talent in the 100 and the 200 before he goes full throttle and just switches up to the 400, because that's going to significantly change things. If he has goals in the 100 but then he just switches all the way up to go into the 400, that might change how he trains, that might change how he prepares for competitions and for races. That might take away from his opportunities in the 100. You're not talking about guys running 9.9s and that's it. These guys, to be able to get on the podium, you're talking about 9.8 lows, you're talking about 9.7s. That's what it's going to take in the 100 meters to get on the podium. And with Letsile Tebogo only quote unquote running 9.86 right now, finishing 6th place at the Olympic Games, that may not be enough to really show himself and to really get on the podium once again, and specifically get a gold medal in the 100-meter dash like he might be aiming for. 200, completely different story. There, he's really, really solid. Yes, Noah Lyles is still there. Kenny Bednarek is there. A lot of younger guys are still coming up as well. But Tebogo, you can probably say that, moving into the future, him along with Ariel Knighton, if he's able to kind of really get back into things, they're going to be the leaders of the next generation. Again, Noah Lyles is still the guy. He has the wild card to the World Championships. He's a defending world champion, but Letsile Tebogo, considering that he's run 19.50, considering that he's run 19.46, considering that he's a defending Olympic champion, and considering he's significantly younger than Noah Lyles, it's going to be hard to say that Noah Lyles is not going to have a lot of competition and be pushed very tightly by Letsile Tebogo. But 400, I think he has some time to progress. I think he has some time to go before he goes full throttle into that. Now, on my end, I'm not too worried about him running this 45.42 in the 400 so far. It's only March. Again, long season. He is going to be running the 400 once again in about 2 weeks down in Melbourne, Australia. That's going to be maybe his most high-profile race to start the year so far because of the attention, because of the spotlight that's going to be on that specific meet. I think Gout is going to be running at that meet in a different event as well. So that's probably going to be his biggest race for the start of the 2025 season. But even if he goes there and he runs a 44.8, 44.5, or maybe he just matches his close to his personal best, a 44.2, I wouldn't be surprised at that performance because, again, he's ramping up for a very long season. Now, I also wouldn't be surprised if he managed to drop a 43.9 or something crazy like that. Why? Because we know that Letsile Tebogo is probably the most talented all-around sprinter in the world right now. 100, 200, 400, across the board, no one is actually touching him, when talking about combined scoring and combined points in that capacity. But like I said last year, after his 300-meter world record, I think we do want to taper expectations just slightly as we look forward to the 2025 season. Now, again, I'm definitely guilty of saying that, he might be the next Usain Bolt. He might be able to win double gold. I'm definitely guilty of that as well. I'm a fan just like we all are. But I want to make sure we taper expectations so we know what to expect when going forward. But let me know what you think about Letsile Tebogo and his 400 meters. You know, coming off a legendary Olympic season, do we think that he should be running significantly faster? Do we think that he should be running the 400 meters at the World Championships in Tokyo later this season? Or does it make sense for him to still stick with the 100, the 200, and then maybe go into the 400 later in his career? Let me know what you think. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.